So here now is Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney, Fox News military analyst. General, is there any sort of sanction out there that you think would work?
Well, maybe if we went directly after the Chinese and did an embargo on them and went after their banks. I don't see us doing that, Melissa. In addition, even if we did that, we really need a military buildup to show we mean business. And I'm willing to lay out what I think are the critical things, particularly since the Secretary of Defense of the South Koreans suggested that maybe we would resume our tactical nuclear alert that we had when I was the DCS Operations Intelligence for the Pacific Air Forces.
Yeah, in addition, I mean, you have a list of things that you think would show that sort of aggressive military buildup that would be the appropriate response right now, including what other factors?
Well, I would go to bomber nuclear alert on Guam. And the reason I would do that, we want Red China to know that the theater is changing. When I took over command of Clark Air Base, I had nuclear alert up on Formosa, as well as we had nuclear alert in South Korea with our forces. I think when we start building that force up, that will encourage the Chinese to say, we do not want that situation that we had back in the late 70s. And I think that might encourage them some. But unless we have that buildup, increase of THAAD missiles, for instance, increase 50 ships in the 7th Fleet, I'd put 150 stealth fighters in the region. We need to have a slow but steady buildup. Don't advertise it. Do it covertly, but they'll get the word. Otherwise, they're going to continue on their own track. And that's a very dangerous track for us.
I have heard some hypothesize that the only way out of this at this point is that China has to believe that President Trump is willing to use military action. Is that, I mean, does it kind of boil down to that in your mind?
Well, I think that's it. But then when you define the military action that we need to minimize the casualties in the South, it means that we have to preempt, which we can do. We can take that artillery out. We can use air-launched cruise missiles off of B-52s with nuclear weapons if he initiates an attack from the north and starts to fire on Seoul. We can do all those things, and he's going to lose. And that's what I'm saying. We need to have those forces in place. He's got to know that he is going to lose and lose big time.
But in the meantime, he just continues to amass and build and get further along and more weapons and more threatening.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.